through when you actually fit the wheels into a bike. So for that reason, the front and rear wheels are actually different, and it's not just a depth thing. We play with the width and the shape as well.
And how wide are the rims?
We have a 26mm front and a 24mm rear.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the optimum. So, but you can imagine that the flow fields are very clean around the leading edge of the tyre on the front, but the same scenario in the rear behind the seat tube. It's a different.
How do they do in crosswinds?
That's really been one of our key sort of drivers. My experience with working with teams and consumers and doing fit has learned a lot about what actually people want from the wheels, and it struck me that there's a lot of wheels out there that were very aero, but you couldn't actually ride them.
Correct.
So from the start, like any engineering project, you define the metrics that you need to optimise, and we added an additional one. So maybe a few years ago it would have just been a wheel on its own in the wind tunnel. We set ourselves with the challenge of developing a wheel set which is optimal within a range of frames, forks, and also that it was stable to ride. So we developed some new protocols in the wind tunnel to actually measure steering sensitivity, to actually relate what subjective feedback is, and how you can actually, what a rideable wheel really is, because some of these deeper wheels seem to be actually quite unusable. And the other key thing is you don't actually, particularly in more importantly in TT and triathlon, you don't actually achieve the position that you need to achieve, which is
because you're constantly fighting the rear, right?
Exactly. And your position is so sensitive that it's so key that you hold that, and we see that in the wind tunnel a lot. So stability and consistency of holding that position is obviously key to having a wheel that you can trust, and that when you pass a gust, you just keep in the position and know you're not going to be hanging on and being turned into other riders or into traffic. Yeah, so the 6.7 we're going to use it's proven very popular with road riders.
Yeah.
We've actually come up with 3 depths of rim. There's a 3.4, which is shallower, more like a climbing wheel, or for people that are light and less experienced. So there's virtually no sort of steering torque in it at all.
Right.
And then this one, then there's a deeper one, which is a 85 front and 95 rear, which is just coming out of development, and we're working on the prototypes now.
Excellent.
Which will be available next year in Q1. But for now, the 3.4 is coming out in July.
Wow.
Which is proven pretty popular with the test riders. It's super stable, but the remit there was to get something very light that you consider to use in any mountain stage, but also is aero. So it's still more aero than a lot of aero wheels.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's a nice range of wheel sets that come out there, and they're all very stable and usable, which is the key really to the efficiency of the product.